started. All right, so I have a question, a big fat question for you before we get started. Is your money like a bucket with holes in it? Have you ever saved up a bunch of money and then watched your bank account go to zero or even low, like just enough? Where one time you remember you had X amount of dollars saved and then you bought something and your bank account went to zero. Can anybody test to that? I am going to type, I want you to type a one in the chat. I'm typing a one in. I'm typing a one in. You know why? I had an account with Charles Schwab during the pandemic, and the market crashed, and I lost half of my Roth variable Roth account, and I lost half the value of my son's uniform gifting account. A uniform gifting account is a tax-free savings plan for children. It's in their social security number and it's tax-free as long as they use it for college. And I lost half the money in his account and half the money in my account. It was painful. And from there, I learned a lesson, and I want to share that lesson with you. So I want to welcome Stephanie, welcome Jenny, welcome anybody who's watching this. I want to introduce myself to you. Hi, there she is. Hi, she's a real person.
Hi, hello.
Welcome. Thank you for coming. Well, listen, my name is Rochelle Dickerson, and I am a CEO. I am the CEO of Rama Financial Solutions, and I'm a senior manager with Experior Financial Group. I have been in the industry since 1992. Do I look that old? Say no. I've been in the industry since 1992, but I quit the industry 4 times because the industry is hard. But I came back during the pandemic. A girlfriend of mine who was in our church dance ministry, and so was I, said, Rochelle, we were broke and busted. I'm a single mom, and we were outdoor dashing in the middle of the pandemic. And a girlfriend of mine said, Rochelle, I think I have something for you. And she showed me this business without knowing that I had 10 years worth of experience. Long story short, I came back in the industry during the pandemic from 2020, July of 2020 to July of 2021. I made a 6-figure income and had 28 agents and grew an agency in 12 months. There's the ring to prove it. That's a 6-figure ring. And that's the one I keep this bad boy on to remind myself what you can do. Sometimes you got to keep things around to remind yourself of who you are, right? So that's it. And then from then, I've been at a 6-figure on my personal pen, which means me writing annuities and accounts and all that since then. And my agency has grown. We're about 30 agents right now. Our goal is to have 100 agents all across the United States of America in the next, I'm giving myself 24 months, okay? And Experior is a company out of Canada. There are 4,000 of us from Canada, Puerto Rico, and the United States of America. So Experior is the company that manages our book of business and, helps us train and all of that. And also, I am a personal coach of infinite banking. I'm a certified personal coach of how to be your own bank and infinite banking. So you are in the right place at the right time with the right people. How many of you are here because you want to know how to plug the holes in your investment account? Can I get you just to raise your hand and then put it right back down if that is something that you want to know? Yes, I see you in there, Jenny. Yes, I see you, Stephanie. Hi, Emma. That's a beautiful picture. You look like a dancer. You have a beautiful neck and brown collar there. Say hello, come off mute so we know that you're a real person, and then you can just come back. Hi. All right. Feel free to turn your camera off if you like. All right. We just want to make sure everybody is. Hi. Oh, I see somebody right next to her. It looks like a daughter or something. Hi, sweetie. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome, welcome. Good, good, good. So we just want to make sure everybody's a real person. That's all, because sometimes you can get some folks that sneak in here that are not real people, but we don't want to make sure we have a bunch of real people. All right. So that was just a little bit of background about me. If you can't tell, I love what I do. I am seriously passionate about financial literacy. Financial literacy is the difference between the haves and the have nots. And for whatever reason, a lot of high schools left that off of our curriculums. It should be a mandatory curriculum. We should graduate from high school knowing what to do with money, but they don't teach it. So for that reason, I am fired up about financial literacy. Now I want you to just let me know, and you can type it in the chat. How many of you have ever lost money in a 403b or 401k or an investment account of some type? So let's see. Emma says multitasking, so I'll be on and off. Okay, all right, no worries. So have you ever lost money? I'm confessing. I put a 1 in the chat, right? Who else put a 1 in the chat? Anybody else? Jenny says hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie. Oh, Stephanie, I know that feels that's a painful feeling, Steph, when you lose money in those accounts. And that is the reason why we are here today. We want to know how to stop that, right? So why does our employer make us risk our retirement money on the market? Why does the government and our employers give us no other options except maybe your deferred comp? But why is it that they take a 401k and buy stocks with it, knowing that the stock market is going to crash? This information comes from federalnewsnetwork.com. It said the average investor suffered a loss between $20,000 and $100,000 per person on the market during the pandemic. Now you think about a 20 to 50% loss. Suppose your retirement, think about if you have a retirement account right now, just picture it. Think about how much you have in there. Suppose you woke up tomorrow morning and half of it was gone. Do you know if we weren't rooted in God, we would probably go crazy? You understand what I'm saying? So why is it that that's so risky? And what is it that we can do about that? Nobody should feel comfortable about losing 30, 40, 50% of your retirement money, right? So I kind of introduced myself to you. So I skipped over those slides. But listen, I want to let you know that me and my agency, we represent over 50 different life insurance and investment companies from all over the world. National Life Group, Mutual Trust, American Equity, Transamerica, even Protective in Puerto Rico, Allianz, even in Canada, Foresters, you name it. If you can name a life insurance company, I'm telling you that me and my brokers have either worked for them or we have a lot of experience with them. So if after this call you feel comfortable with me, I want to admonish you to keep in touch with me. Get my number, text me, email me. You can't bug me enough. Ask me all the questions that you can think about. I told you our passion is for financial literacy. So you will find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We have a women's group called the Black Women's Financial Advisors Coaching Group. And there's about 200 of us, and we're growing every month by about 4 to 10 women per month. So we're growing exponentially. And we're all women who are financial professionals, real estate, investment, life insurance, and even credit repair folk, right? So we're all together in this group. We realize that we are a minority of a minority inside of a minority, which means women in the financial industry are already a minority, but Black women or women of color are a minority inside of a minority. So I believe the good Lord put it inside of me to create a support group, and then from that support group, grow into a Black female financial sorority, so that we can look out for one another and have each other's back as sisters. And we can create a different mindset and lay down that competitive, greedy mindset that you find in our industry. And if you can feel what I'm saying and you think you want to join the group, email me at Rhema, RHEMA, financial coaching at gmail.com, or reach out to me on Messenger on Facebook. Type me a note. You guys see, I block scammers. So type me something so that I know that you are a real person, and I'll add you to the group. Listen, the average financial planner charges $500 to $10,000 per account, depending on how intricate the account is. We do not charge people a fee. All we ask for is referrals. So if you're here on Zoom tonight, or you see this on a social media platform, we just ask that you would like, share it with somebody else, and comment. And if you sit down with us on a coaching call, we're not going to ask you for a fee. We'll just ask you for referrals. Who do you know that we should know? And we'll ask you to send that person or those people our business card and let them know about us. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. The question is your savings account like a bucket with holes in it? Have you noticed that money constantly leaks out of your savings account? But we're going to talk about the first hole of taxes. Did you know that a tax deferred savings plan, when you go to touch it, Uncle Sam is going to take between 22% and 50% of your account back in taxes, federal taxes, state taxes, and early out penalties. Then the next thing is fees. You do not own your 401k. The government does, or your employer owns it. So even to roll it over, you'd have to call and get permission. And if they allow you to take it, they're going to charge you fees, commission fees, broker fees, whatever fee they feel like they need on top of the taxes. The other hole is not growing your money ahead of the cost of living. The cost of living grows every year by a minimum of 5%. That means if you go in the convenience store and you buy a can of a jar of juice for 99 cents, in 2025, that same drink is going to cost you $1.05. So what does that mean? You must earn at least 5% interest on your money, or your money is depreciating in value. So I want you guys to write that down. How much do you need to earn on your money to stay ahead of the cost of living? 5% or more, or your money is doing what? Decreasing in value. The fourth hole is losing your money on the stock market. Why would you put your retirement money on the stock market? Retirement money is supposed to be secure. It's for financial security. So why would you put your financial security in something that you know you're going to lose? Think about that. There are 3 places where you can save your money. You can go to the bank, you can save it in plans on your job, or you can go to a private company. At the bank, you could open up CDs, money market accounts, bonds, and mutual funds. But CDs, money market accounts, and bonds and savings accounts, how much do they pay you on your money? I admonish to you that the majority of them pay less than 1%. And if it is a CD and you're lucky enough to get 3 or 4%, you'll still have to pay taxes, both state and federal taxes, and early out surrender charges. So how much do you really earn on your money at the bank? We admonish you that money at the bank is just for emergencies. As a financial coach, we tell you don't keep any more than 6 months worth of expenses in the bank. After you have 6 months, you must diversify and grow your money at an interest rate that's above the cost of living. The second bucket is tax deferred plans, otherwise known as qualified plans. This is where you lose your money on the stock market. It is a guarantee that you will lose your money on the stock market. And it's tax deferred. So that means you're writing it off every year, but as soon as you go to take it out, you're going to have to pay Uncle Sam and your state government back all those taxes. We tell people don't borrow money from your 401k or 403b. Why? Because you're borrowing money at a variable interest rate that you owe Uncle Sam in back taxes. And you do not want to owe Uncle Sam. They will leverage and take anything, any property or anything you have if you default. Don't put yourself in that position. The third bucket, we want to give you some nuggets about. The third bucket, go to a private industry company and say these words. I want to create a tax-free retirement plan. Can you help me? Here is where the nuggets are coming. There are a few ways to create a tax-free retirement or tax-free savings plan. The number one way I like is by putting your retirement IRA in a trust. Write this down. You want to talk to your lawyer. You want to get your IRA. Talk to your lawyer and ask them about setting up a guarantor retained IRA trust where you will be the owner. The lawyer will talk to you about how you want to set up the trust. Now, I am not a lawyer, so I cannot set up a trust for you. But your lawyer will do that and also talk to you about a will. And then you'll be able to receive that money as an owner of the trust. And then there's variables about that. And your beneficiaries will be able to receive that money tax-free. There's another way to create tax-free income. It's called a backdoor Roth. Now, a Roth is where you pay your taxes up front, then you can grow money tax-free, and then you can take it all out tax-free. Some companies, not all, and there are some products, some financial products where you can convert $8,000 per year and transfer it into a trust from a non-qualified, not a 401k, not a qualified write-off, but from a non-qualified IRA. Now, if you want to know more about that, I want to admonish you to book a call with me or call me or email me, and we can go into that. Y'all got that? So it's called a backdoor Roth. All right? What else is tax-free? Loans. Now, this is the secret of the wealthy. When you borrow money from your life insurance policy, it is tax-free. And if you know how to do it the right way, you can borrow money and not pay any interest on it, and you can make money on your loan. Now, if you want to know more about that, we can do a private call on that. But borrowing money from your life insurance is tax-free. And there's a strategy to it to keep it that way. Surrendering all or a portion of your life insurance is tax-free, which means you pay up the life insurance and then you can surrender the death benefit in chunks. I bet folk don't know about that. You can surrender portions of your life insurance. And because it's your life insurance, you can take that money as a tax-free stream of income. Things that people don't know. And I'm going to give you one more. Life insurance return of premiums are tax-free. So you can put your money in a life insurance policy, grow interest on top of it, and all of the return of premiums, and then you can borrow a portion of the death benefit and the interest, and it's tax-free. Woo-wee! Things that they don't tell you in college or high school, right? So the first bucket, the first two buckets are called public banking. Write that down. What does that mean? That means those account numbers and your social security number are government property. If you ever get in trouble with the government, either state or federal, for child support, you were ever sued, put in jail, loans that you haven't paid back, taxes, the government and the judge can seize those accounts. They can take every dime out of them if they want to. The last bucket is private banking. Life insurance policies, life insurance annuities, and annuities that are in Roths are considered private banking. Money that's inside of a trust is considered private banking. That means if you're sued or thrown in jail, parking tickets, whatever, the government or state or federal cannot touch this money. One of the best examples I can give you is O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson came out of jail in 2020, and Forbes magazine reported that he earns $600,000 of passive income that the government nor the Goldman family can touch. Why can't they touch it? Because they sued him and seized his assets, but they couldn't touch this large pocket of money, which is the equivalent of about $6 million. You must have at least $600,000 to $10,000 in an account to create that kind of passive income. So why is it that they couldn't touch the 6 million? Because OJ was wise enough to put his money in different types of tax-free vehicles that I just explained to you. Wow. Here is the last nugget that I want to give you for tonight. And I want you to take pictures of whatever you see, whatever makes it clear to you, and or write this down. There are 3 types of investments and savings accounts. There are variable accounts, fixed accounts, and equity index strategy accounts. A variable account is where you are buying stocks on the stock market. So your money goes up and down. This is an example of somebody who rolled over $100,000 into a variable or a stock market account. So what would happen if this person turned age 62 and their body wouldn't let them work anymore, but they had to retire in 2002? Well, they lost 30 to 50% of their retirement money on the stock market, and they had to pay Uncle Sam in taxes, both federal and state, on top of those losses. Well, suppose this person got a fixed account and the company just paid them a flat 4% interest. Well, they did a little bit better, but guess what? When they took that money out, they still had to pay both state and federal taxes. So they still lost the bare bones minimum of 30%, as much as 50% of what they earned in their account. This person, which is the green line, took out an equity indexed account. This is a strategy that has a fixed interest rate, which means when the stock market crashes, your money sits on the floor. And that floor is normally small. Maybe it's 0. Maybe it's 1%. Maybe it's 2%. Could be 3%. But when the stock market goes up, your money mirrors the stock market. So your money can go up and you can earn 10%, 15%, 6%, 5%, according to what the stock market does. So in other words, you get stock market gains and no losses. This person on the green line put their money in either a Roth, indexed Roth IRA, and then after 10 years, They had no surrender charges, and they took all of their money plus the interest out tax free and penalty free. Or they had a life insurance policy. They paid up the cost of life insurance and it endowed, which means it's paid for and it just keeps growing. Or they paid off the cost of life insurance in another type of policy where it just keeps growing. And then after the 10th year, they surrendered and or took all of their money out tax-free and penalty-free. So who ended up better off, both emotionally better off because they didn't suffer losses of their retirement account, and financially better off? The person who did the Roth index strategies. Yes. So to conclude, what is the solution? How do you plug those 4 holes in the retirement accounts or in your indexing accounts? The solution is, write this down and never forget it, an indexed Roth IRA. Index is a product where when the stock market crashes, you have a guaranteed interest rate, otherwise known as a guaranteed floor. So when the market falls, your money sits on the floor. But when the market goes up, your money grows with the market. And a Roth is where you have paid your taxes before you put it in. You put your money in tax-free and you grow all of your money plus the interest plus what you add on tax-free. If you pay off your surrender charges in anywhere between 7 to 10 years, then you will plug all of the holes in your retirement plan. The other product is called an indexed universal life, otherwise known as an IUL for short. Index is a permanent life insurance policy with an index Roth IRA inside of the policy. It is buy permanent life insurance, pay it off, and let it endow, and put the difference in a Roth IRA. Buy permanent life insurance and invest the difference in an index Roth IRA. Woo, I know this is a lot of information. Take notes, take pictures. The third, you mean there's another product? Yes. The third product is called a high cash value whole life policy, otherwise known as a participating whole life policy. What is that? That means you own a piece of the rock, or you own a piece of the life insurance company. This is where the policy holders are shareholders in the life insurance company. You own shares inside of your life insurance policy, so that when the life insurance company does well, they pay you dividends inside of the policy. And you reinvest those dividends and borrow, and it will be tax-free. Woo-wee! That's a lot of information, but it's a lot of juicy nuggets in there. All right. So we show you how to build guaranteed passive streams of income. out of all these products. Tax-free passive streams of income under the 7702A tax code. Banks do it. Banks have been doing it since the Great Depression. Why don't you? Banks take out bank-owned life insurance, which is BOLI for short, and they take out high cash value policies on their bank executives. And when the bank deposits go under $100,000, they borrow from those participating policies and bring their bank balances back up to $100,000 or more. Also, they're insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Companies. These are life insurance companies that back and sometimes own the banks and back the banks. Here's an example of a retirement plan. We sat down with Barbara and David, they both earn a good six-figure income, and they were both maxing out their 401k. They were both putting in 10% of their salaries or more in their 401k. And we said, Barbara and Dave, stop doing that. Only put in the matching. Everything over the matching, put it in an index universal life insurance policy or an index Roth IRA. And they said, Rochelle, I have never heard of anything that made more sense. Show us what to do. And this is what we did. They took $1,500 and put it in an index universal life insurance policy. If one of them died, the other one would be a millionaire. And they were happy about that. So we created an instant $1 million. We created instant millionaires. And if that wasn't enough alone, remember, this is buy permanent life insurance and invest the difference in an index Roth IRA. The company sets aside a portion of that policy. And at age 64, Barb and Dave told us that they need at least $5,000 a month coming in. So we structured the policy so they will stop putting money in it at age 63. And at age 64, they will take a guaranteed lifetime income of $5,122 a month for the rest of their life. Now listen carefully. Remember, I said that they will stop putting money in there and start taking a tax-free income? Well, guess what? And they keep taking that money every month, but look, at age 68, their cash value keeps growing. Their cash value is $307,310. They're still taking the $5,000 and some change a month. But what's happening to their cash value? At age 73, it's grown to $614,000. They're still taking $5,000 a month. At age 78, they have over $900,000. And at age 83, they have over $1.2 million in there. And they're still taking the $5,000 and some change a month. I have a question for you. Will your 401k do that? Can you start taking a retirement income from your 401k and then go back and cash it in for $1 million at age 80 and say, no, I don't think I want to keep taking this income. Just give me what's in there, what you've been reinvesting, and I'm just going to take that big $1 million and go buy me some apartment complexes or go live in I don't know, go live in Bermuda. Will your 401k do that? No. This is the magic of infinite banking, infinite growth, and living on your money, babies. Yes, indeed. And if that wasn't enough, if they became sick or hurt, terminally ill, chronically ill, critically ill, or critically injured, they can surrender or partially surrender that $1 million and take 800,000. If it's long-term care, they can take $16,000 a month, or any of these things happen to them, they could surrender or partially surrender that account. Woo! You might as well burp because this is a lot of information going in your belly. Burp and eat this last few slides. We can also create a be your own bank policy out of a high cash value whole life policy and show you how to eliminate your debts. This is Mark and Joyce. They're aged 37 and 35. They want to retire at age 65. They have 3 children. They haven't been able to save for college. They earn over $7,000 a month. They need $5,000 a month to retire on. They want to pay off their house. They want to become debt free. They want to get their spending under control. And they want to have some savings for their kids for college. And they want to learn about the market and how to invest safely. We took down a list of all their debts. Our algorithm showed us that they're paying an average of 10% in interest, variable and fixed interest rates on their loans. Their credit card, their mortgage, and their auto loans all equal over $180,000, and they're paying out over $2,000 per month on those loans. Our algorithm came back and said, Mark and Joyce, your balance is $180,000. But after we add up all that interest, you are really going to pay $380,157 because those banks are charging you $199,959 in interest. You will end up paying those banks for 30 years and you will never be out of debt. Now, Mark and Joyce, they're 37. In 30 years, they'll be 67. They'll be 67 years old before they get out of debt because of the interest. So our algorithm matched them to a high cash value whole life policy. Well, they'll set aside anywhere between $300 and $500 a month. And guess what? We showed them how to do infinite banking, and we got them out of debt in 7.8 years. Instead of paying $380,000 back to those banks in interest, now they'll only pay $180,000 in interest. And instead of squeaking out $120,000 and retiring at age 65, and all they have is $120,000 in their retirement account, now we're going to make them millionaires, just like we did with Dave and Barbara. Well, they'll have over $1 million in liquid cash for retirement. Compare the results. Listen, take a picture of that card. That is how you can get in touch with me. The average life insurance agent earns $1,000 per application. So if you know an agent that doesn't know how to do this concept, refer them to us. And if they work with us for 3 months and write business, our agency will bless you with $500. So send somebody you know our way. Or maybe you know somebody who needs to eliminate debt. Refer them. Or maybe it's you. In exchange for the information that you received today, all we ask for is referrals. Who do you know that I should know? Text that person my business card or reach out to me.